YouTube! What's going on, guys? Doomwake here, and welcome back to some more Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard. I feel like Final Fantasy is going to be... We're almost in spoiler season, I think, so not sure how much longer we're going to get to say Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard, but I gotta say, there's a lot of RCs that happened this past weekend, and there's definitely some bangers in multiple different RCs. A lot of interesting decks to talk about over the next week or so. And one of those is from Shintaro Ishimura, who top 16, I believe it was either 11th or 13th place, I think it was 11th, in the Japanese RC. And believe it or not, there was actually 2 different copies of Gruul Delirium decks in the top 32 of that RC. And Japan was, I think Brazil and Southeast Asia were not 2-day events. Japan was. So both of these Delirium players made some deep runs in a 2-day event, which is nothing to scoff at. Now, as far as the deck list is concerned, a lot of these cards, if you've seen a Delirium deck before, you've seen a lot of these cards. And they basically are cards that give you a bonus when you have 4 different types in your graveyard. So Patchwork Beastie is a 1-mana 3/3, pretty good rate. Can't attack or block until you get Delirium, but it is sort of self-fulfilling because on your upkeep you mill a card. So it kind of fuels itself. Fear of Missing Out, similar thing, where it's ETB, discard, then draw, so putting a card into your graveyard. And then you get a second combat phase when you attack with it once you get Delirium. And then Wildfire Wickerfolk, which is a red-green for a 3/2 haste. And then if you have Delirium, it gets +1/+1 and trample. So that's sort of your Delirium payoffs, right? These are your cards that give you bonuses once you achieve Delirium. Keen-Eyed Curator is another card that sort of does that, where it's a 3/3. You can exile a card for a graveyard from just any card for 1 mana. And then if there are 4 or more types, so basically if you have Delirium under the Keen-Eyed Curator, then it becomes a 7/7 trample. Notably, Keen-Eyed Curator, very good in this format because it doesn't die to Burst Lightning, it exiles graveyards against Omniscience, and also against Shiko. So against Jeskai Control, Omniscience, and Prowess, this card's kind of a house right now. So love that about this deck. Now, because we're playing Delirium, we do need some more ways to put cards into the graveyard. Breakout is maybe a more subtle way of doing it, where it's a sorcery, it goes to the graveyard upon resolution, and then if you hit one of these discard cards, like Fear of Missing Out or maybe Patchwork Beastie to mill later on, you can put those into play and they will eventually get you towards Delirium. You have 4 Seed of Hope, which is very simple. Mill 2, get a permanent from those cards, gain 2 life. Just milling 2, getting Delirium. Bushwhack, which looks a little weird, but effectively you're trimming lands for copies of Bushwhack to get more sorceries into the graveyard, which makes sense. And then from there we have kind of a small pump spell package. So 2 Overprotect, 1 Monstrous Rage, and 3 Violent Urge. Violent Urge kind of acts as a payoff, right? If you have Delirium, you get to give something double strike +1/+0 until end of turn. But I think more often than not, the first copy of Violent Urge is going to just be used as a removal spell in combat. What I mean by that is if you have a 3/3 and your opponent blocks with their 3/3, you give your creature first strike and their 3/3 dies. Certainly if you have Delirium already, you can set up a really absurd turn where if you give something double strike with an extra combat step, maybe that creature also has trample, you can push through a lot of damage. And then I like splitting Overprotect and Monstrous Rage because Rage is slightly better against the smaller decks like Burst Lightning and Cutdown, but Overprotect is better against people who are playing Get Lost and Go for the Throat and things of that nature. So splitting those is kind of nice. I can appreciate that. And then a card that I haven't talked about yet, Tersa Lightshatter. It's a new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm. We're playing 4 copies in this deck, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think previously these decks did play Screaming Nemesis as like a 3/3 haster for 3, but Tersa, being able to discard 2 cards, gets you a lot closer to Delirium. Because you're discarding and milling so much, you're probably going to have 7 cards in your graveyard a good percentage of the time. So this thing, when it attacks ability, is going to be on a good amount of the time. And also, it's just a 3/3 haste for 3. It allows you to add a lot more pressure because the games in Standard right now, are just so condensed. The turns, the games don't really last that long on average. So having a 3/3 haster, getting the game over with faster, is something I can really appreciate. And then we got one copy of Balustrade Wurm. I like this card, but I don't know if I like the inclusion in the main deck because it is quite bad against the aggressive decks. But I mean, if you play against control, this card is an absolute house. Can't be countered, and then if you have Delirium, you can get it back for 4 mana. It's got Trample and Haste, so huge card there. Mana base, nothing too crazy. I will mention there are 3 commercial districts. That is a lot of tap lands, but again, you're trying to put cards in your graveyard. I get it. The sideboard is where it gets kind of interesting. So you have a second Pyroclasm against Prowess. Makes sense. Some graveyard hate with Ghost Vacuum, and I believe that's the only other graveyard hate, which sounds like not enough, but remember, 4 Keen-Eyed in the main deck, so kind of makes sense. Pick your poison for Demons and Cutter. Heritage Reclamation, good against Cutter. Scrapshooter, good against Cutter. Haywire Mite, good against Cutter. You'll notice a common theme here. Lithomantic Barrage, good against like Oculus and Shiko decks. Obliterating Bolt, mostly here for Preacher. Chandra and Lynx for the control matchup. And then, I'm not entirely sure what this card is supposed to be doing. So, Convenient Target is 1 mana Aura, and when it enters, you suspect Enchanted Creature, which gives it Menace and can't block. And I guess the idea is that it's a weirdo split card that can give your creature some sort of evasion, but also make their creature unable to block. So kind of interesting. And you can pick it up from your graveyard to your hand for 3 mana. So weird card, maybe something that is a good way to remove blockers. And I don't know, it's something. It's not that bad. But in any case, this is the Delirium deck list. Again, this deck list looks really clean. I'm a big fan of what's going on here, and excited to see how it plays out. This is one of my favorite decks in Standard, so without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. In game, of course. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Okay. Go here and here. Begging Jim to host Gambas in the SCG lobby. They should mod me. If they mod me, I'll do it. It didn't win something, but it did get 9th place, just barely missing out on top 8 in the Japan Regional Championship. There was actually 2 different Delirium decks that were in the top 16. Or, yeah, top 16. And they weren't, like, they weren't actually that close to each other. They had a lot of different cards. But Delirium making a comeback. Has anybody tried Delirium with Cutter? I feel like that would be a good idea. I haven't tried it myself. Wait, I only have 1 card in my graveyard. What the fuck? They're at 14. So, land, instant sorcery. Okay. Deck for 3, I guess. So, end step, get Delirium, untap, play Wildfire, urge both. Hope that's good enough. It might be. Wait, I still don't have Delirium? Oh, God. Oh, No, not like this. Instant sorcery land. It's good deck building. That is good deck building. All right. Don't make fun of my play, okay? I need you to just trust me on this one, okay? That could be good. That could work out pretty well, actually. Aha! So instant sorcery land. I need to keep the FOMO in the graveyard, so I would take this. And then this would be 8. Oh, it's just lethal, right? Yeah, they just die. We did it! It was a weird line, but we found it. We found the line. All right, domain. Me all this. What did we do? We did Clasm out. I think I did Breakout out before. And no, not all the breakouts, just a couple of them. I think I did one Overprotect. Let's try that. Like, you can play, you know, Patchwork Beastie, Bushwhack, Torch the Tower, Monstrous Rage, Violent Urge. Like, you have a good amount of 1-drops for Cutter. I don't think it's that bad. I just haven't tried it. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't think your services are required at this time. Wildfire. Instant sorcery. Discard Wildfire gives me Delirium. I guess we'll do that. Man, I don't like losing the Wildfire, but... Okay, that's nice. Oh, man. Do we think they have Zur in hand? We don't lose the game, per se, but it would be difficult to win if they had Zur next turn, I think. Yeah, they do need an untap land, but they got a decent number of those, right? I'm a coward. I'll admit it right now, I'm a coward. I am a coward. Maybe I shouldn't be a coward, but... Because this line's worse if they have Wrath. Or Beza. Beza's pretty bad for us here, too. Well, they did have the untapped land. Don't love that for us. They have 4 non-basics. I think I'm just going to go to combat. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I was thinking they wouldn't double block if they thought I had Rage, but if they single block and I have Rage, that's also bad, so maybe they would just double block. All right, -4. Old. Get him, cat. Get him, cat. Heart's pretty good against cat. We're at 5 non-basics now. I want to just find Monstrous Rage. Let me do this first. It's actually not terrible. It kind of puts them in an awkward spot, doesn't it? Because they can't trade for the cats. Wanted to hit a land there. So they can trade for Tersa, go to 3. But now, if they have Zur, they don't gain life. So if they have Zur, they still just die to the next Lynx. Untap lane Zur? No. Okay, good. Meow. Get him, cat. It's going to be -6, please. Easy. Sunspine Lynx is really good. But, I mean, I think if you tuned your Jeskai deck to have a reasonable enough matchup against Prowess, and, you know, that was just a good spot to be in, so... I was a little surprised to see how many people registered it, but not necessarily surprised to see one win the tournament, you know? Alex, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I did have fun at the RC. It was a good time. What am I listening to right now? Instant. Get lost. A little control gamer over here. At least I think it's control. I guess it could be Omni. Fuck, I'll do it again. It gets better. I mean, I'll take your word for it, but I don't know if I believe you. Oh. 4 main deck Scavenging Ooze against Omniscience, huh? Seems good. Did you put an Omniscience in your graveyard? Not so fast. I mean, it's definitely different than what I usually listen to, but I don't hate it. So, instant creature sorcery. We can make a 7/7. Is that worth it? Let's just break out first. I guess I'll just take this. And then break out again, maybe? Well, awkward, but thank you for night, I guess. It's gonna suck when they lock down these 3. Keck, wait. Can they survive 5 attackers here? They have to have 2 kill spells, right? I mean, they definitely can survive 2 attackers. I don't know if it's likely, but they could. I wanted to try that card so bad. I know it's probably terrible, but I wanted to try it out. All right, Omni Science. It's the third or fourth best deck in Alchemy. Well, is it the best? And if Izzet is the best, it's like, is it tier 0, everything else tier 1.5? Yeah, the one that makes Monastery Mentors is I think 4 mana. It's like 4 mana 3/3 or 2/2. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I want Haywire Mite. I don't think I do. I think it's just this. And then cut the Worm. Worm's too slow against them. Are we allowed canister music? I mean, technically, yes. I'd prefer not, but technically, yes. Only technically. The streamer will have to release the feed pics. If you go back and watch the VOD, you can actually see a very brief moment when I was trying to move the camera down to like angle where my cat was. You can see a little feed action. You'll have to go digging in the VODs for it, but it's there. Trust me, it is there. Yeah, I've had a cat for a couple months now. Do. What day was it? Today. Like maybe a half hour ago. Yes, I also have feet, surprisingly. Is my cat still there? Dude, he's just sleeping. I wish the camera could actually point to where he is. He looks so cute when he sleeps. The funny part is, I put like a little cat bed, right? Like behind me, so he would just sleep in the cat bed. And I kid you not, he's sleeping next to the cat bed. Like, apparently he just doesn't like it. I should get a cat cam. Well, no, because if I focus the cat cam on the bed, he's just going to sleep next to it, you know? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I guess I'm casting Tersa. Right? What do we have? Land, artifact, creature. So, discard these two. That's Delirium, baby. Have you given him a shoebox that's too small for him yet? Nah, he does love boxes, though. Whenever I get, like, an Amazon order, I'll just leave the box on the floor, and he goes nuts over him. Is there a downside to exiling this? I mean, look, if you want to spend 2 mana, I'm down. Yeah, see, they don't even do it. Okay. It's a little annoying. Try this. Okay, 4 engrave. And I do kind of want to hold up the reclamation. Why did I do that in this order? 4, 5, 6. I should have played the fear first. I was thinking I wanted to hold up the heritage, but with them on 4 mana, I don't think I need to hold up heritage this turn. They use Abuelo's Awakening to reanimate the Omniscience, which is essentially just Zombify. It's a white Zombify for any non-creature permanent. I missed. That's not fair. I won't hit a land off this. See? This Tersa card is pretty good. I mean, it's lethal, but like, if they cast Day of Judgment or Beza, that card's pretty bad, isn't it? It's good if they cast Beza, I guess. I'll keep it. Cetophobe? Yeah, don't get me started on Cetophobe. Now, so the new versions of Omniscience are no longer playing the battle that searches their sideboard. So the newer versions, their kill condition is 1 founding the third path, and then Regent. So basically, if you have 2 Regents and a founding, you go play founding, chapter 2, mill your opponent for 4, Regent, bounce founding, replay founding, mill for 4, second Regent, bounce first Regent, founding, and then they just do that over and over again to mill your opponent out. That's their kill condition. Yeah, I guess that is true. That's a good point. Which I guess I'm just going to do that anyways, right? Get back FOMO. They have a counterspell? Okay, well, now they're just dead, right, to the Violent Urge. Violent Urge. Do. Their opponent was playing Severance Priest, and the Severance Priest died, and their opponent didn't have the token. They had some kind of like, you know, other random like anime token or whatever. It wasn't a spirit token. And my friend, you know, was like, you know, they didn't read the card, and they're like, they just kind of assumed that it was a spirit, and therefore spirits have flying, right? And I don't know if that's a fair assumption. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But for whatever reason, they assumed the spirit had flying, which is, I think, a fair assumption to make. And then they end up like sheltered by ghosting the spirit token to kill something, and then the next turn attacking with it, and their opponent goes to block. And then they had this like really awkward conversation where it's like, you know, again, part of it's on my friend where he should read the card. Like, I get it. But then I'm also of the opinion that you should bring the correct tokens to the tournament and not, you know, don't try to confuse your opponent or just make the game as least confusing as possible. Like, I am of that opinion for sure. Especially if it's a weird token like that, you know, where it's like a very like uncommon play patterns. Those tokens aren't very, you know, not a lot of people have those tokens or cards that make those tokens to begin with, right? I'm trying to think of which one I want to use here. I mean, I think it's this, because this is better if they have a Helix in hand. But this is a little bit more mana efficient, which is why I was thinking about it. Yes, I'm sorry for the way I am. Oh yeah, there have been other non-flying spirits for sure. My Forest Over Mountain. Does it matter? Maybe it does. I didn't think it mattered that much, but maybe it does. What do we have for types? Instant, sorcery, that's it? That kind of sucks. Wish I had more types. Yeah, Sokensan makes spirits without flying. There are plenty of cards in the history of Magic that makes non-flying spirits. So, like, it's not an uncommon thing. But, like, again, you know, I sort of understand both perspectives. Like, I obviously, my friend should have read the card, but, you know, I think that people should just bring the right tokens. Like, it's not that hard, you know? It can't be that hard to find the right token, especially for a card like Severance Priest, which is from the most recent set, you know? Like, there's no way that... You can't tell me that token is hard to find. Yeah, I guess I should have done that. Use my mana. I forgot that I had extra mana. The curator must eat. A good example of this is when I went to Atlanta to play the Cage deck. I went out of my way to find, like, you guys know the Cage deck makes like at least 10 different tokens. I went out of my way to make sure I had the correct token for each one of those cards. And maybe it's a situation with Cage, like, it's more confusing because there can be, you know, 6 different tokens in play at one time. So there needs to be a little bit more, like, you know, that's something where you kind of have to do it for, you know, because even you'll just get confused because you just won't know which token's which. All right, creature, sorcery. We're getting there on the curator. We got 3 types. So what do we have? Creature, instant, sorcery. Man, I'm gonna cast it. Can't be countered. Can't be countered. Yeah, their hand's just all lightning helixes. I mean, if they have 2 helixes, they can still just kill the curator. Because we don't have a 4th type to make it a bigger dude. Didn't think we'd get this far. I actually think I should have played the Patchwork Beastie. Because if they Wrath, I want this in the graveyard, so I have Delirium for the Wurm. No, you need 4 types for the Curator. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay. What's my out here? Start here. Don't quite have enough stuff in the graveyard for Tersa. Still 5 in hand. Well, I mean, I could just put a bunch of shit into play. Yeah, just like get Wildfire, play Curator, play Beastie. I think that's fine. But no attacks this turn. Let me tell you though, next turn. Well, the thing about Tersa is we can't put it directly into play, right? If we get the Tersa, we have to put it into our hand, which makes that a lot worse. I did have a good trip. It was a fun time. Lock them up. This is not going well. I mean, I guess we just have to hope they don't have a counterspell for Pyroclasm. So, yeah. You sound like a robot sometimes. I mean, I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, my microphone is acting strange. Is it when I move it like farther away from me? I've still been trying to mess with my settings, but try and make sure I keep it the same distance. Violent Urge. Sorcery creature instant. Bruh. Sounds fine. Okay. Have you checked your headphones recently? Dr. Doomscar, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. This game is not going well. Yeah, we talked about the Pioneer announcement for a little bit. I'm excited. I mean, it's cool that they're putting more cards onto Arena. It's not cool that we still don't have a reason to play Pioneer. Like, I don't like that, you know? We still don't have Delirium somehow. God, and I can't even make this thing a 7/7. All right, go. Goal. Yeah, isn't it just all Phoenix decks? You had no idea Pioneer was a thing. Define thing. What is the definition of a thing? Well, Hammer Time has just been pushed out. You know, like by the time they finally put the toll collector on Arena, nobody's playing Hammer Time anymore. It's too late, you know. What else do I want to cut against them? This might be a little over sideboarding. Maybe the shooters are bad. Do like one of these, maybe. Try that. Which, you know, they probably did that intentionally, right? And likewise, Rosie. All right, which 2-drop do we want to play? I never know. I kind of don't want to discard any of the cards in my hand except for maybe a land. So I think it's not FOMO. Let me just play this. It's either that or Breakout. What is this Twitch clip? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Why did you have to do that, man? Now I have to just delete the whole VOD. This is bullshit. Literally have to delete the whole VOD now. Thanks for sending your Lotus at SCGCon. Yeah, your Lotus Petal. Isn't that it's $6 to see feed? Isn't that the going rate? That's what I thought it was. Isn't that what people normally pay for it? You'd pay $7 for those feet. I don't know if I would. Both feet are just one. Well, in that clip, there was only one singular foot. How similar are my feet to that of a Chinese princess? I would say there's, you know, there's some resemblance. Not exactly the same, but they're pretty close. I don't think I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm not queued for the PT. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much there is to do outside of the PT, but I mean, maybe it'd be a fun trip. Yeah, I believe the PT is standard. I mean, I gotta just do it, right? Can't hold this. Too bad if they have a counter. The next PT in Vegas is standard, and then the PT after that, which will be Edge of Eternities, that one's going to be modern. Well, does anybody know where Edge of Eternities is? Have they announced the location for the PT after Final Fantasy? Again, if you live there, that's fine, but like, it doesn't excite me to go to Atlanta, you know? Ranking RC cities? Ooh, that's good. Okay, where have I been for regional championships? Dallas, San Diego. These are not in any particular order. I'm just listing out the ones that I've been to. I think I've been to every RC except Portland. So Dallas, San Diego, Atlanta, Charlotte, Minneapolis. What am I missing? Was there an RC in Orlando? I think there was, right? Oh yeah, DC. I didn't go to Denver. Denver was one of the ones I didn't go to. I mean, honestly, I think the RC, like the location that I've enjoyed the most for RC was probably San Diego. San Diego is really nice. Not even just like the atmosphere and just being in California, but the specific location they picked out for the RC was fucking awesome. I don't know if anybody else went to San Diego, but like the venue was like kind of open at the top. There was a bunch of windows at the top, and it was so good. I love that location. Got 4 cards over there. You're cooking with Goblin King. HD0 Plug, welcome to the stream. We do deck techs for Pioneer, Standard, and Modern. So those are the 3 formats that I would take a look at. And if you are interested, we do them for 2 gifted subs or $10 donation. Where does Hartford rank? Okay. I know I was talking shit about Atlanta. Atlanta, not as bad as Hartford. And I say this as somebody who lives in New England, as an understanding of if they had every single regional championships in Hartford, like if they had Hartford every season, I would love that because it's very close to me. Even that being said, Hartford is atrocious. The only reason Hartford is nice is because it's like an hour drive for me, you know? It's the only good thing about Hartford. There's no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And if you're watching us on YouTube, comment section down below, tell me one redeeming quality about Hartford. I would love to hear, because I can't find anything. Yeah, I mean, the New Haven pizza is not bad, but yeah, I believe the convention center is kind of close to Foxwoods. That costs 5 mana. I can't play that. Get lost. Yeah, I mean, come on. Providence is definitely better than Hartford, for sure. You're definitely not just saying that because you live in Providence. Why does this thing have 7 toughness? 7 is so much. Oh my god. 7 toughness, man. You're killing me. Those, really wish I had a land here. Have 4 in hand. DJ Sappy, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. Appreciate that. 3 gifted subs. Sappy's going crazy today. Folks, if you didn't get a sub dodged in chat, it's as simple as that. Thank you for the gifted Sappy. We'll take a look after this match. How do I win this game? It certainly involves drawing a land. So let's do this. Yeah. I mean, at the time, I didn't need my 5th land, but I kind of wish I had it now. I mean, I'll take it. Bonus sub because I hit enter. Nice. Thanks again for the gifted, Sappy. I appreciate that. Yeah, this would be one of the rare instances of Pop Patch being better, like against Jeskai control specifically. It sucks that Pop Patch doesn't kill Cutter. If Pop Patch was Artifact, Enchantment, Flyer, or draw a card, I mean, that card's probably too good, but just unfortunate that it doesn't, you know? Go to 11. Dude, I'm just so dead, aren't I? Yeah, there's no way I can win this game. Get him for 5. We can get him all the way down to 15 life. After he sees the deck, he would have demanded another one anyway. Okay. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it now. Maybe I am. Just to see how much of a train wreck it is. Oh, this was the other question I wanted to ask you guys. Has anybody tried that Vibes card game? And for people who don't know what that is, if you were at the SCG Con this weekend, they were hosting like demos for that card game. Apparently they just have a free 20k. Yeah, it's a trading card game. It's a trading card game and it's called Vibes. That's the name of the trading card game is fucking Vibes. I'm doing a quick check to see how much Portal Sleight of Hands are. Cool Stuff has 1 in stock for $10. I'd do it. I feel like 10's kind of pricey though, right? Maybe it's normal. Razor Verge Thicket. Huh? Play this, homie. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense that they're hard to find. Surely we don't miss off this breakout, right? Oh, it didn't miss. It's 1 type still. Yeah, I probably should have got a land first. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. I forgot I had this. So we go Bushwhack, Fear of Missing Out this turn. Stop killing my shit. We have Sorcery, Creature, Artifact. Okay. Can discard that to Tersa, which is nice. What decks have looked the most fun out of all the RCs to me? There was one from... I have it uploaded. We're going to play it later today. I don't remember which event it was from, but there was one... I think it was either Brazil or Southeast Asia. This deck looked wild. It had, like, Smuggler's Surprise and... Urani and the raccoon that makes mana, and I think it got like 11th or 12th place. I wanted to try that deck, so we're gonna play that later today. No attack. You didn't understand the Quint deck? Was that the one? Was that the Boros deck from Minneapolis? Yeah, it was Brazil, right? Okay, yeah. Thing has haste, doesn't it? Let's grab the metafield, the founding kind of finish sorcery. Okay, sure. So, I mean, let's do that, I guess. Hold up seed. I could have played Beastie there. It's worse if they have another Wrath, but. Does anybody have a link to the Quint deck? Was it just the Boros Casino deck that we were playing, or is it different than that? Because I heard some people talking about Boros Discover, and I believe that's what they were discussing, right? It's playing Sage of the Skies, right? So the, like, with the Discover stuff, right? Like the 2-drops that aren't 2-drops, the enchantment, Geological Appraiser, that kind of stuff. Remember, we did a video with that. Yeah, okay. I wonder if they made any changes, like to the original list that we played. That deck was really sweet. I like that deck. Breakout. Okay, hold on. Ready for this? Hold control. Trigger on the stack. Like that? The plays. The plays. Now they're at 3. If they kill, we have Tersa. They can't play Zur. All right, but look at this Boros deck. Overlord. Tully's Favor, Sage of the Skies. Yeah, this is basically the exact same deck list that we played before. This deck is so base, though. I remember playing... When I played this deck, I loved it. I think I had 4 of this, too. All right, what'd they do? Yeah, the missing link is the butthole. Don't tap all my red mana, you shithead. Oh, they weren't dead, weren't they? Oh, no, they were. Because yeah, and tap the Tersa. This hand's good. This hand's really good, actually. Do I riffle shuffle my decks? Only if they are single-sleeved and are worth at least $1,000. Yeah, I think I should have just let them keep the Overlord for sure. Every single time I play this deck, without fail, all of my opponents forget that Beastie can't block. Every single time. Patchwork Beastie is just the best card in Magic. I played Izzet Prowess in Minneapolis, and I'm probably going to play the same deck again in Hartford. A very, very good chance I end up playing Prowess again. It's just the best deck by so much. Nothing even comes close to it. Now, if you ask me what the best way is to build it, that's a question that I can't answer. That I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm gonna hope to figure that out over the next couple of days. But I do know for a fact that Prowess is the best deck. Yeah, that was nice. And that turn that I attacked, I needed to hit the Overprotect to have like a good attack. Because if I don't hit the Overprotect, the Urge only trades for the Beza. They're just dead. Well, we need to hit Violent Urge, but they're pretty close to dead. This does actually seem like a reasonable matchup because you just have a bunch of three toughness creatures, right? Beastie, Fear of Missing Out, Wildfire, or not Wildfire, Beastie, Fear of Missing Out, Keen-Eyed Curator, and Tersa against the 4 Burst Lightning deck. Like, this doesn't even seem like that bad of a matchup. You're fast enough to keep up with them some of the time. Like, you have a lot of good ways to kill Cutter. It would be nice to get a Tersa trigger here, so I think I'm going to do this. And also, is it worth casting Overprotect? So if I can't, maybe I should have played my land first, but if I cast the Overprotect, I have exactly 7 engrave, but I can only cast 2 of my 7 cards because I've already played a land this turn. So honestly, I think it's just not even worth it. Let me just hold. Do it next turn. We can use Overprotect as more of like a counter spell here. The RC was won by Jeskai Control of all things. Not a deck that was on my radar going in. We tested a little bit against Jeskai Control, but I think the issue is our lists were just bad. The person who won the event had like the best looking Jeskai Control list that I've ever seen in this format. Like, he did a lot of good things with this list. Deck lists should be available on Melee. The all of the regional championship deck lists. Yeah, that's true. Pretty stocked now. I think it had more creatures. The lists that I looked at, I don't remember them having as many creatures as he did. Don't play the land first. I ended up dropping at 3 and 4. So I didn't make day 2. Should I pass priority here? I think if they're blocking, that means they're going to cast a cantrip. But if I cast this and they have a bounce spell, it's pretty bad. I mean, that's fine, though. 3, 6, 9. Well, the thing is, it's not lethal. No, let's hold. I think I want to hold here. Get rid of this. Play this and pass. I just maybe it was the lists that I was looking at specifically, but I don't remember them having that many creatures. Because I think he had like 10 or 11. Yeah, I played Prowess in the event. I lost to Esper Pixie, Blue-White Omniscience, Mirror Match, and Mono Red. Well, this is bad. I think we're dead. Three, four, five. So this would be 3, 4, 5. 6 minus 3 is 3, 6, 8. I go to 2. So I died a Burst Lightning, but I kind of think I need to hold this up. Well, just like do this on their turn, right? The thing is, if I overprotect the fear of missing out, I don't technically die to Burst Lightning, but I do die to Spell Pierce. I'm just going to let this happen. I hope they don't have Burst Lightning. They don't have it. They don't have Burst Lightning. Come on. No way they have Burst Lightning. Ooh. Don't think it really matters which one I choose. I guess this one. I mean, I'll go to combat. Do you have the Burst Lightning? Oh, okay. Well, I guess not.